The story of the most dramatic season in F1 history, 2012. The 2012 Formula One season wasn't just a championship, it was chaos wrapped in carbon fiber.
Formula One World Championship will be decided here, right now. Massa on the left, Trulli on the right. Look out for Hamilton on the pit wall side.
For decades, fans dreamed of unpredictability, but nothing prepared them for the spectacle of this year. 6 world champions lined up on the grid, joined by hungry young talents desperate to leave a mark. In just 7 races, we saw 7 different winners, from household legends to complete shockers. Protests, pit lane disasters, political controversy, and title dreams shattered in an instant. Every weekend felt like a new twist in a blockbuster script. This wasn't racing. This was war disguised as sport. 1. A season like no other. From the very first lap in Melbourne, it was clear 2012 wasn't going to play by the usual script. The grid featured a once-in-a-lifetime lineup: Alonso, Vettel, Hamilton, Button, Raikkonen, Schumacher, and Webber. 6 world champions plus a returning Iceman. Add rising stars like Perez, Grosjean, and Hülkenberg, and the field looked stacked with potential. What made it even wilder was that no single team held dominance. McLaren had speed, but stumbled in execution. Red Bull were being dragged into technical controversies, and Ferrari started the year with a car Alonso openly called undriveable. For fans, every weekend became a gamble. Would experience triumph, or would chaos crown a surprise winner? Unlike the years of Ferrari's supremacy or Red Bull's dominance, 2012 was about survival. Every driver had a chance. Every race felt like it might turn the championship picture upside down. 2. 7 winners in 7 races. Formula One history had never seen anything like it. The opening stretch of 2012 produced 7 different winners in 7 consecutive races. Jenson Button kicked things off in Australia, proving McLaren's preseason speed was real. Then Fernando Alonso shocked the field by winning in Malaysia with what many believed was a midfield Ferrari. Nico Rosberg claimed his first ever victory in China, while Bahrain saw Vettel reassert himself. Then came the miracle in Spain, Pastor Maldonado giving Williams their first win in 8 years. Mark Webber seized Monaco, Hamilton dominated Canada, and suddenly the sport was in uncharted waters. For fans, every Sunday was a lottery. Would it be another veteran, a wild card, or one of the young guns breaking through? The streak turned the early season into the most unpredictable in living memory, and crucially, it kept the championship wide open for nearly half the grid. 3. Chaos and controversy everywhere. If the on-track battles weren't wild enough, the off-track drama was equally explosive. Mercedes triggered uproar with their innovative double DRS system, which rival teams argued gave them an unfair advantage. Red Bull spent the season under constant suspicion, from accusations of illegal floor designs in Monaco to engine mapping tricks in Germany. In Spain, Williams celebrated Maldonado's miracle win, only to see their garage engulfed in flames hours later. And then there was Bahrain, where political unrest overshadowed the race itself, sparking fierce debate about whether Formula One should even be there. Meanwhile, McLaren, supposedly the team to beat, turned races into pit lane horror shows, with botched stops and mechanical failures. Every weekend carried new controversies, and every headline off the track was as chaotic as the battles on it. 2012 wasn't just unpredictable because of the racing, it felt like the entire sport was on fire. 4. The 6-way championship battle. By mid-season, the impossible had become reality. 6 drivers were still in genuine contention for the World Championship. Fernando Alonso, dragging an unworthy Ferrari, somehow led the standings with sheer consistency. Sebastian Vettel, after a sluggish start, was lurking dangerously close. Lewis Hamilton had blistering pace, but was sabotaged by McLaren's mistakes. Jenson Button, though fading after his early win, still had a mathematical shot. Kimi Raikkonen, in his comeback year, quietly built momentum with podium after podium. And Mark Webber, always the fighter, stayed alive thanks to Monaco and Silverstone triumphs. Each brought their own narrative. Alonso's defiance, Vettel's rise, Hamilton's heartbreaks, Kimi's ice-cold consistency, Button's resilience, and Webber's grit. Never before had so many big names stayed alive so deep into a season. It wasn't just a title race anymore. It was a gladiatorial battle, with 6 contenders circling the same crown and none willing to yield. 5. Alonso's miracle drive versus Ferrari's limitations. Fernando Alonso's 2012 season is still hailed as one of the greatest individual campaigns in F1 history. Ferrari's car was nowhere near the pace of Red Bull or McLaren, yet Alonso dragged it into contention with sheer brilliance. His win in Malaysia came in torrential rain, where his defensive masterclass against a charging Sergio Perez stunned the paddock. Valencia was even more dramatic. Starting from 11th on the grid, Alonso carved through the field to win in front of his home crowd, a victory so emotional that even rival team members applauded. Week after week, Alonso maximized results, podiums from hopeless qualifying positions, relentless tire management, and razor-sharp consistency. Ferrari, meanwhile, failed to give him the upgrades he needed. Alonso himself admitted they were often racing for damage limitation, not wins, yet he never faltered, pushing his car beyond its limits. By sheer willpower, he stayed ahead of rivals with faster machinery. As the season wore on, it became clear. Alonso wasn't just fighting for a championship, he was carrying Ferrari on his back. In many ways, 2012 wasn't just a title fight, it was Alonso's personal crusade against the odds, remembered as his finest season, even in defeat. 6. McLaren's collapse. Speed wasted by mistakes. If Ferrari lacked speed, McLaren had the opposite problem. Blistering pace. Undone by catastrophic execution, their car was arguably the fastest on the grid in 2012, proven by Hamilton's pole positions and Button's early season dominance. But time after time, McLaren found new ways to throw it away. Botched pit stops became a recurring nightmare, wheels not attached, mechanics fumbling, and Hamilton losing race after race from the lead. In Bahrain, Canada, and beyond, slow stops turned victories into podium scraps. Reliability was just as cruel, gearbox failures, fuel issues, and even Button's car cutting out mid-race. The low point came in Italy, when Hamilton salvaged a win amid rumors of leaving the team, only for Button to suffer a sudden fuel pressure problem that ended his race. Off-track, tensions boiled over. Hamilton infamously tweeted private telemetry data, straining his relationship with McLaren to breaking point. By the time he announced his move to Mercedes, the writing was on the wall. Despite having the pace to fight for both championships, McLaren's implosion left their drivers out of the title fight by year's end. 2012 became the season remembered not for what McLaren achieved, but for what they squandered. 7. Vettel's ruthless comeback. For much of the first half of 2012, Sebastian Vettel looked out of rhythm. Red Bull's dominance from 2010 and 2011 seemed gone, and technical protests cast doubt on their car. But when it mattered most, Vettel and Red Bull roared back. Beginning in Singapore, Vettel unleashed a devastating run of form, 4 consecutive victories in Singapore, Japan, Korea, and India. These weren't lucky wins. They were dominant, crushing performances that reminded everyone of 2011. In Singapore, Vettel inherited the lead after Hamilton's gearbox failure and never looked back. In Japan, he scored a rare Grand Slam. Pole, fastest lap, led every lap, and victory. Korea and India followed, with Vettel dictating races from the front, Red Bull's upgrades finally clicking into place. In the blink of an eye, Alonso's 40-point lead evaporated, replaced by Vettel's relentless march. What made his comeback ruthless wasn't just speed, it was psychological warfare. Rivals admitted Vettel seemed untouchable once he found rhythm. Alonso fought tooth and nail, but Red Bull's mid-season resurgence tilted the scales. By late October, it felt inevitable. Vettel, once trailing, was now the hunter-turned-leader, showing why he was already a 2-time champion and why he was about to become a 3-time one. 8. The Brazilian finale, Glory in the Rain. If Hollywood scripted a finale, it wouldn't match Brazil 2012. The title fight came down to Vettel and Alonso, separated by just 13 points. But on the very first lap at Interlagos, disaster struck. Vettel spun after contact, dropping to last with a damaged car. Alonso, meanwhile, surged into a podium position that would hand him the championship. For Red Bull fans, it was a nightmare unfolding. Yet Vettel didn't give up. In changing weather, he clawed his way back, overtaking car after car with relentless determination. Hamilton briefly led, only to be taken out by Hülkenberg in a shocking collision. Rain returned, pit stops shuffled the order, and chaos reigned. Alonso finished second, his maximum effort not enough. Vettel limped home in 6th, but those points were enough to crown him champion by just 3 points. The race ended under safety car after Paul di Resta's crash, a strangely muted end to an otherwise electric day, but the drama, the tension, the knife-edge championship fight had cemented 2012 as legendary. For Alonso, it was heartbreak. For Vettel, it was triumph. And for fans, it was the last truly unpredictable season, one where nothing was certain until the very last lap. The 2012 Formula One season will forever stand as the ultimate roller coaster. 6 contenders, endless controversies, and a finale that kept the world on edge until the final lap in Brazil. It was unpredictable, emotional, and unforgettable, proving why F1 is more than just sport, it's pure drama on wheels. If you loved reliving this season with me and want more deep dives into Formula One's greatest stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button.